Lux Anguisir. So this is the full version of getting free from your own addictions. And these are like some recommendations that I have for you before going all in. Is have a notebook, have a paper to write everything down, be undistracted, like have everything removed that could potentially drive your attention somewhere else, like put your notifications on mute, pick out a time where you are undisturbed and can focus upon it completely. Another thing is that I also recommend is when you have everything written down, everything so to say planned out, take as soon as possible action, because after 24 hours, usually if there nothing happens, we tend to forget it, tend to put it on a back burner and completely forget it, and at the end of the day change nothing. We humans need roughly around 21 to 28 days to make this a habit, and around 6 months to be a lifestyle. I know it's a long time, so that's why you really need to take these steps very, very seriously if you really want to change something for the better in your addictive tendencies, behaviors, and right now being, you know. So these are my recommendations. This you should actually take into consideration if you really want to successfully pull all of it through. Or on that, now God bless and let's go. Sure, that we call society or the matrix. And where we want to start in our addictions. First, it is always important first to acknowledge your addictions. First, you must know your addictions. Some people, they are so deep in their addictions that they are thinking it is just a normal life or like normal behavior, normal day-to-day living. You know, drinking everyday coffee, drinking everyday alcohol, smoking every day, watching TV every day, any of this overstimulating stuff, doing it necessarily every day can be defined as an addiction. If, for example, if you are without these aforementioned things, that you feel kinda different, kinda empty, kinda like there misses something. Usually it is like a symptom that your own nervous system, your own consciousness, your own body and mind and spirit kinda became accustomed to this stimulation, to these addictions, to this actual maintenance of your being. And you must just acknowledge it, that this isn't actually who you actually are, this isn't actually who you actually feel like, and it's just like an artificial construct of your whole being that is built upon to function in this type of way that you are right now functioning. I'm not saying this is bad or good either. I'm just saying if you feel like there is something more actually in your life to reach, you have a potential, you have a higher calling, you have something to fulfill, and you feel like that these aforementioned things kinda are stealing your potential, your life force energy, your well-being, your behind your back of a mind essentially that this isn't good for you. I'm not judging these type of things. I'm just saying if you come to recognize that these things are unhealthy for you, are not bringing you forward, and are actually a big, big blockage on the path of success on any way, please consider the things that I'm right now telling you. First, acknowledge it. You have a problem. You have a problem. You have something within you. We have something that is like unresolved, that results in you taking this type of bad coping mechanisms as consideration, as a routine. Out of my own experience, most of the time when I felt like this is the case, I felt like I have these type of things, most of the time it is an underlying feeling. It is an underlying negative feeling actually, that we are trying to suppress or forget, and walk through it, basically through these bad coping mechanisms. And we can only work on that if we become conscious about this certain thing. And how can you do that? I always suggest every person taking it seriously, you need a physical object. I'm not saying the phone isn't physical, but the phone, as we know, is like a major source of high dopamine, of high stimulation, of high addictions actually, if you think about it. So the phone isn't a tool that I would consider in your right now state to use when it comes to this working actually. Most of us are addicted to the phone. If we know it or not, if we're conscious about it or not, most of us are somewhat addicted to our phones. So I would suggest you to take a new empty book or paper to write the things down. Write the things down that you right now know is the highest problematic thing right now in regards to addictions. If you have many addictions, good, but please do not overwhelm your right now addicted consciousness. I'm only speaking of my own experience. When I'm like crazily working on every damn addictions at once, I become crazy and I stagnate, I procrastinate because it's just too much for my capacity to handle. It's just too much. So just start with one damn addiction that takes for you like the most time, the most effort, the most preciousness out of your whole being actually. It can be everything. The intensity varies. Like, of course, some people react to different things differently, but for yourself, for yourself right now, what is the addiction, the coping mechanism that you right now costs you the most energy, attention, life force, health, wealth, anything like that. Just consider it seriously and write that down on a piece of a damn paper or a book, your workbook for your person only. And you write all these addictions down from the most fiercest to the most least. And yeah, the first step is to become conscious about your addictions and conscious about the most biggest blockages you have in this regard. This is the second part about working on your addictions. So you have decided you want to work on a addiction or even many addictions. How much basically your capacities allows yourself. But usually if you are a beginner in this, just start with one actually and go through it. What is the next step? Actually, okay, first you acknowledge, you become conscious of this addiction, you acknowledge it is a problem, you acknowledge it is a blockage, and it does not serve you, your path, and your well-being. What is the next logical step? What you should do on my own experience? Well, also, addictions are not only the result of you being traumatized or you have stored negative emotions. Addictions are sometimes also the result of being misaligned to your own purpose, to your own mission, to your own calling in life, to your own passion in life. So what that simply means, you really must, especially as an addict, you really must find something to work towards. What is, I think, if you are in this addictive phase, if you are in this addictive situation right now, it doesn't matter which kind of severity it has. What you really need actually is also, besides having a passion, having a goal, having something to work for, is also healing, self-love, self-respect, self-appreciation. Because most of us, if we are addicted, there's like also an emptiness in regards to self-worth, self-respect. We do not value our own selves. If we pursue bad coping mechanisms that cost us many good things, actually, our sublime good actually from us, we are not like, if you are more logical about it, do you think it comes out of a place of self-love, self-appreciation, self-respect? You value yourself? Most likely not really. I don't think so. 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, it isn't the case. There is a lack of self-love, but not in this itsy bitsy, oh, I love myself, like that. If you feel like loving yourself in a manner like if you have an unhealthy weight, if you have unhealthy coping mechanisms, if you have like something you must work on, loving yourself is actually a double-edged sword. If you have bad coping mechanisms, if you are right now some kind of a bum and you don't work anything, you don't want to achieve anything, and you just are a shell of a man or a woman, and you love yourself, you love this being, it's kind of hypocritical if you know what I mean. But just using the sense of loving oneself as an excuse to be the same, actually to be in this, still in this bad situation, in this bad circumstances, in this bad mentality, is still loving yourself. You're kind of shooting your own foot. If you are loving this kind of version of yourself, you also need to use the force of hatred, of healthy anger. Also, like, damn, how did it came to this? A healthy aggression is also needed in this. Like, to question yourself, you question your own sanity, like, how damn far had I left myself go? Like, having this healthy sense of anger, of ashamedness, of like, damn, like, I can't go on like this. It's also very helpful, besides having self-love. But self-love in this regards of, for example, damn, right now I really want to do this thing right now, but instead, like, I for myself know, if I'm doing that, I will fall back, I will like lose precious progress actually on path, and I have the potential to fall back for many months. And still, like, in the space of loving yourself, instead of choosing that, you just consciously decide to move 2 or 3 steps back, breathe a moment, become conscious about it. What is the somewhat healthier alternative to that? Most of the time, because when you are addicted, it isn't conscious. It is like primates, like reptilian, or like it is like a monkey that wants to make this. So it is more physical actually. What is important then? You do something physical. You go outside in nature, without the phone, without anything. You go outside in nature, or you go to work. Safely, please. Safety. Always consider safety. If you are in an unsafe environment, take still something with you that guarantees your safety. Always important, especially in healing your traumas, in your addictions. You must guarantee yourself safety on everything you do, be it um, be it exercising, be it listening to music, be it, you must guarantee yourself a space of safety. So your own addicted self and your own artificial pushed masculine side who is always protecting you and pushing you to do this kind of stuff can let go and can let you actually feel how you feel. Now it's also a very important part of this whole process. Safety. If you are in this moment to relapse, to go back again, it isn't logical. It is very subconscious. It is very primal. It's very animalistic actually. So then you must cope with it to go outside or to do something, to walk, to fight, to train your body. And most likely afterwards, if you're doing it heavy, you're most likely out of energy and it isn't that hardcore how this urge isn't that big anymore how it originally started, so having having this having this kind of coping mechanisms in these type of situations is very important. And yeah, first, having something to work for. And what as an addict needs to work on is on self-worth, self-respect, self-love, and also on a healthy sense of anger. And releasing the pinned up frustration and disappointment you have actually in yourself, and to make this commitment, I do not want to do this anymore. And just simply means your actual right now mission, your actual right now life purpose is to work on your mental, emotional, and soul health. That's the thing you need to do. This is like your mission. It's like the 1A priority right now. So first, become conscious. Second, having a purpose to walk towards. Third, including slowly healthy coping mechanisms. And yeah, this is like the second part about helping yourself on becoming free of your addictions. Lax Anguis here, and the third part about becoming free of your addictions. So what we have talked about, number one, become conscious about your addictions, deciding about one addiction that you really must work on. Number two is to find something to work on, and usually what we most likely need to work on is on your mental health, on your soul health, on your bodily health, on the spirit health. You really need to invest time, money, energy to get the proper health that you need. That can simply mean, sometimes having a contact to a professional, because I'm somewhat a professional because I'm actually I have a diploma in mental coaching and mental training. Like I am like officially I can train people mentally because I learned from that and I successfully finished this school. So actually I'm licensed when it comes to that. And yeah, but I truly want also that you go out of the way to get also therapists, or like some people who specializes in psychology, that you talk to them rather regularly. So priority number 1 is also getting in contact with another person. That is helpful in these regards. If you think about number 3, people. I'm telling you, people. Just people. What I mean by people. If you want it or not, if you're strong-willed, or I don't know what else you think about yourself, but we damn sure know our closest people have a good amount of influence onto us, if we want it or not. I'm telling you, some people are more resistant than other, but you still will be influenced in some kind of way by your people you are closest with. I'm just observing myself, especially if you have high amount of water signs in your chart, especially Pisces or Cancer. These two are highly susceptible to outer influence. I have also very, very high water placements, so I am speaking here only out of my own experience. I am very influenceable, and I very heavily worked on that to regulate it and to have some healthy boundaries in that regards. But if you find yourself to be easily influenced, it is especially important for you that you really, I mean it for real, 1000% real, that you take it seriously. What kind of persons do you hang around with? For real. What kind of person you hang around with? What kind of persons are your friends? Who you consider your friends to be? How are your connections? How is your relationships to your family? All these questions. How is your workplace? How is your relationship with the work people there? The relationships in your life play very, very major roles in either releasing yourself from addictions or even strengthening it or never going out of addictions. Because many people out there have an unregulated nervous system themselves. They have also bad coping mechanisms themselves. They have also bad mentality about themselves and about life. And if you want it or not, if you are hanging around this type of people, these kind of things also colors you with them. As professional you can be, there will always be a certain amount of influence. And if 80% to 90% all of your people, so-called people, are narcissists or are pretty much low-key actually abusive, are taking you for granted, are addicted themselves, have bad coping mechanisms themselves, that they are not working on themselves, they are basically buying into this 0815 life, normal life, which is actually this addicted life. If you realize it or not, this normal life out there is the addicted life. The normalized life out there is the addicted life. Because living this life, you need some kind of coping mechanism to go through it. Because of its intensity, because of its boringness, because of its disalignment to your actual purpose. I'm not saying that if some people find their purpose in this life, that this doesn't exist. But usually, if you are watching this video, I'm sure of it. You acknowledge somewhere within you that this isn't it. Let's be real. If you really come across me, and you're seriously watching me and considering the things that I am right now telling, this life isn't for you. Forget it. Forget it. Forget the shit. It isn't for this addicted life. Isn't for you. You want the other life, higher life, better life, the other side of this life. So yeah, just people. Observe the people around you. I don't observe them. Take them really under a scope. Analyze them. Are they more helpful? I'm not saying that friendships should only be built by if I'm giving you this, I get this in return, and like only like some kind of work buddies, or like just some businessman, businesswoman. Like, no, friendships can also be like platonic friendships. It's all right, it's okay. Giving stuff from your heart to your friend is always okay, all right. But if it seems like you are giving, you are giving information, respect, love all the damn time, like I had, and there comes little to nothing back, oh baby, that's like, it's high time to leave this relationship. High time. Because this person simply takes you for granted for what you are, for what you can actually do for them. They're taking you, your preciousness, your being, your genius, your lifetime, your resources for granted. Like, what is this kind of person that he deserves this treatment that he gets from you for free? And this guy or this girl isn't man or woman enough, or authentic enough, or ethical enough, or like loving enough to give also something from the heart. It doesn't need to be money, actually. It just needs to be something that this person creates from the heart space, because the person cares about you, loves you actually, and really wants to show you he appreciates you. Did this person ever make something like that? It doesn't need to be based purely on money. But things that this person manifests, that comes from their heart, like they really think about this relationship, and think like what you like, and created it for you, is in whatever manner. If this isn't the case, leave the damn relationship, because you are wasting your time, baby. You're really wasting your time. Forget it. Forget it. Maybe you can try to talk with them, like, this isn't alright, like I feel like I'm taken for granted, please work on that. I really love you as a friend, or like as a person, but I don't feel respected, and I don't want to invest any much further, because I feel like it's like a wall. It's like, yeah, I'm wasting my potential basically with you. You can still love them, but please spend your time more wisely, yeah, simple as that. Like, it's also a very, very easy practical thing to do. Like, how are you before you meet the person, and how are you after you meet the person? Simple as that. How are you before you go to work? How are you after work? Of course, every work costs a certain amount of energy, but there is always a residual essence there. You can also have a job that is very fulfilling, or work that is very fulfilling, but because it is very intense, some kind of way you are exhausted, but you still have this lingering feeling of fulfillment, of right now I am in the right place at the right time. I am really building something for myself. But at the end of the day, if you feel like, damn, I'm not respected, damn, like, no, this feeling, after work, you really need to change work, okay? You really need to. You need to change something. You really need to look for some alternatives. Maybe need to do some more tests where you actually are more at home job-wise, or anything like that, or just consider building your own empire, or like doing actually try to monetize what you love, actually. Find some other alternatives to build up active passive income and thus build your dream life or dream thing you want to do that you can finance, just consider these options. Just consider it. People, workplace, these are one of the major things that you should consider ending your addictions. Also, before I end it there, if you are a bum, like literally a bum, literally a bum, and for some kind of reason you came across this video and you decide to not be anymore a bum, to not be anymore without a goal, without structure. Having a work outside of this is also not bad for you, because usually heavy addicts, they do not have a routine, they do not have a structure, they do not have something to work for, something to work on. So their daily habits, their daily structure basically allows them to be constantly on drugs or any addictions. So having sometimes a job to work for isn't bad for you actually, especially for this kind of addicts, because it can bring your mind away from a state. Like you can change the environment, change the environment from your home to a different place where you can work for, or where you can work in, change the environment, especially as a heavy addict, especially if you want to have you literally can't work for yourself. You really need to change the environment. Like having a very simple job at the side, they give you somewhat structure, like maybe going back to a family home if you can, like or like living outside, like in a van or in a car, really really change your environment, or like replace the furniture, change a bit the room that you're living in, so you subconsciously telling yourself, right now I'm going into a new chapter in my life and I will not take this bad habit with me, basically. And this is like the third part, or like the next, I'm not sure it's the third or the fourth part, I forget, but it doesn't matter. Like these are the essential things that really you need to work on if you really want to change yourself, and letting go of your bad habits and the addictions. Changing the environment, changing the people, cutting cords, sacrificing some unhealthy jobs or things or environments. Like this is a next crucial step you need to do. Lux, Angus here. This is, I think, the last part of letting go of addictions, coping mechanisms, any of such kind of things that really costs your life force, energy, attention, potential, anything like that. So the next part is, what do you do when you are relapsing? What will you do when you are relapsing? Them right now I took this shit like, oh fuck, I don't know from where this came, but it came, it is here, manifested, and I'm without words. I'm shocked. Honestly, I'm shocked. But to be honest, not really. To be honest, you weren't shocked, weren't you? Like, to be honest, actually, this will come. Sooner or later, the relapse will come. If you want it or not. Like, most of us, especially as beginner, you're not special. You're not most likely you are not this special snowflake that you think you are. Most likely, if you are, congratulations. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. Respect. But to be real, most of us aren't. We aren't. that high amount of special. Like, we are still somewhat humans. Well, if you're watching me, I don't know. I'm really questioning that, but let's say 50% we are we are humans. 50%. But yeah, so we will make mistakes. Who doesn't? Who will not make mistakes? Like, a master didn't fall from heaven. Like, according to Christians, Lucifer, but it's another story. But yeah. Well, you must, if you begin this journey of freeing yourself of these addictions, 10 times out of 10, especially as a beginner, you will relapse. Be prepared for that. That there will come this day. There will come this day that you will be weak. You will be not that strong. You will be not that aligned to your path, not that aligned to your self-love, self-work, self-maintenance, looking after yourself, having a healthy routine, washing yourself, like having these simple, healthy, grounding routines in your life. Well, what can you do actually to lessen this effect of this supposedly failure? First of all, let's just don't make it like, I make like 30 days without addictions. Good. 1 year without addiction. Good. No. It must be a lifestyle, not like a challenge. A lifestyle. Please, a lifestyle. You're not making a challenge here. It is your lifestyle. It is a lifestyle you live until you are basically physically dead. Like, have this mentality. It is a lifestyle, not a challenge. It is a lifestyle. A lifestyle you want to permanently establish within you, thus also outside of you. A lifestyle, not a challenge. There's a key difference between a challenge. A challenge is like, I'm doing this for 90 days, and afterwards, maybe I think I will relapse. I think I will give in, and maybe not. Let's see. Like, no. Maybe if this is helpful for you, like being proud of yourself or like building up some kind of self-confidence, it's kind of helpful to have like some days you work towards, but actually you want that to be your lifestyle, your normal living, if you think about it. Like, you really want to get out of this. It isn't anything like anymore that really bothers you anymore. Like, you are only healed from your addictions, actually, if you think about it, if the relationship to the addiction or to the specific object of your addiction and stimulation changes. Before or not. For example, you have been an alcoholic. For a crazy example, you have been an alcoholic, and then you have worked so much on yourself. You have worked so much on the self-healing process. You became whole. You integrated your soul, spirit, and healed your nervous system and your body. So you get kind of this kind of a mindset that instead of seeking this specific thing, it just comes naturally to you. And when it comes naturally to you, like, you're not seeking anymore. You're not striving for it anymore. You're not pursuing or lusting or like anything like that. You're not hungering for this type of thing anymore. It's vanished. Like, okay, when it comes to me, actually, through life circumstances or anything like it, I'm not searching it. It comes just to me. When it comes to me, I just feel into myself. I just think for myself, should I take it? Should I not take it? Like, should I smoke a little bit or not? Or okay, I smoke a little. Oh, cool experience, fine. I'm just drinking 1 or 2 glasses. But I know for myself, I will not go further than that. I don't need to go further. I don't feel the need to go further than that. I don't, like, you are not basically attaching yourself to this anymore. I drank last night, and it was a nice experience, but my life moves on, basically. my life moves on. I'm just like very seldomly, rarely I partake in it, but this was it. This was it. But you shouldn't take this also not as excuse to go back on the, if you really are heavy addicted to that, just having a good amount of years having not the substance is good, but if it happens to be for whatever reasons, do not beat yourself up for it. It happens. Mistakes happens. Do not beat yourself up for it. Do not like, oh, this program. You making the situations more worse than actually is. What you actually need when this relapse, so-called relapse happens, or when you get in contact with it and you use this specific thing again, and I feel like, okay, there's still something lingering within me, just call up the healthy people, or just watching some videos that pushes you again to motivate yourself to look more, like literally go to healthy coping mechanisms. Actually, it's like the best thing you could do, instead of just overreacting, being too emotional invested into it. Like, okay, respect the emotions that you're feeling right now, respect it, but not hold on to it. Like, feel it, but do not hold on. Like, do not make this whole thing like out of a little fly, an elephant. You don't need to do that. What you really need to do that is to go back to some type of a healthier version or coping mechanism. If you feel like, okay, right now I kind of feel like I'm going again to relapse heavy, that just simply means one part, there's still some healing need to be done, and the other part is like you simply go back to the things that are helping you. Calling a healthy friend, calling someone that supports you, be it a therapist, be it a therapist, or like a drug line, for like, some, please, or having some videos on YouTube or anything that is about overcoming the obstacles, or motivating yourself, or like, this isn't like, you know what I mean, motivating yourself, giving you again positive energy, and do not like unnecessarily overreact to it. But that doesn't mean you suppress it doesn't mean you suppress your emotions. I'm not telling that. I'm just telling, respecting your emotions. If you feel sad, if you feel ashamed, if you feel anger, or in combinations of these things, please accept them and feel them. If for some type of reasons this old trauma of in connection to these addictions comes up, do not suppress it. Actually, do not I know it sounds crazy, but do not suppress it, actually, because you just must imagine the traumas are like stored energies. It's like a stored emotional energy within your own system, and the moment it comes up to the surface of your consciousness, of your feelings, it's the moment it becomes released. It releases itself by this emotional expression. So it actually, when this trauma manifests into feelings, into emotions, it actually is just a natural phenomena that takes place to release this trauma. I know it is ugly. I know it is ugly. I know it is shameful. I know it is like it's very vulnerable thing to do, but really it is a natural mechanism within us, these emotional things, to release this stored energy naturally, to tears, through anger, through frustrations. It's just a natural process for us to let this shit go, even for traumas. So that's why it's important to not like beat yourself up unnecessarily when the relapse is happening, and having the mentality, yeah, actually it isn't a challenge, it is a lifestyle that I want to establish, and I will make mistakes on the road. Sooner I will make mistakes, and I really need to work on myself, on my health, on my relationship to this thing. So if I'm getting, for some whatever reason, in contact with it, I will not like become unconscious again. I will not like become attached to it again. I will not like, it's just a thing that happens, and I move on with my life. I live my life how I previously did. Happens, shit happens, and I move on. Simple as that. Simple as that. This is the next thing. Like when a relapse happens, this is, in my opinion, the best thing to do. Having healthy coping mechanisms, having respect for yourself still, and allowing yourself the feeling that you need to feel. Stop the victim mentality. Stop the beating yourself unnecessarily up, making this shit much more complicated than it actually is. And yeah, this is like what you should do when you relapse, and you will relapse, especially at the beginning. You will relapse, and you will see, the more you push through, the more you work on yourself, the more you grow. You forget the days that you work towards. You forget it. You slowly, these relapses become shorter and shorter. The effects of the specific thing that is the cause of your addiction, or where you're addicted from, it becomes less and less. The more you work on yourself, the more you grow, the more you ascend, the more you initiate, the more you heal, the less the impact will be. I'm telling you, the less it will be. When you're just coping and bypassing and doing actually nothing, the effects will be just the same, because you're suppressing. But if you're actually working on yourself, healing yourself, searching actually for a purpose, the purpose is like a layer of onions. Actually, you will feel like healing of your consciousness, healing of your soul, emotions, anything like that. Like there is a natural process in place. The next door will open naturally itself up for you, where what you need to do next. It can be body health. You want to build up a strong body. It can be, okay, actually I want to build up my business. Like it comes naturally. But the first step is actually to heal yourself. And when you're doing that successfully, the next purpose of your life, of your right of being, will naturally open itself up to you. And it will slowly lead to your soul's, thus life's mission here on earth. Slowly but surely it will lead to that conclusion, ultimately, if you follow it and follow through it. So don't worry, just do it. Just do it. Live it. The next thing is actually pretty much more heavier, and it is more so spiritual in nature. But I don't know if this will be like the last. Like I said, this will be the last episode, so why not? F it, do it now. The next step is like you acknowledge you need to acknowledge your addictions, having a goal to work towards, changing the people, changing the environment, investing enough resources into people, into places to help you in this process, into formations to help you in this process, having a healthy mentality about relapses and about your journey on this, that it will happen more or less. It is like you are human still, but human. And the next thing is like the spiritual part. It kind of sounds controversial when I'm telling you this, but I'm just only consolidating and validating this. Like 70 to 80% of your problems are spiritual in nature, or are energetic in nature. I can go on about it for like a whole damn day, but I'm just telling you, like 70 to 80% of your problems comes from the spiritual realm within you and outside of you. That just simply means especially what you need. What immensely helped also me on the recovery path. It is just my recommendation. It's just what crystallizes itself out of my own experiences on my path so far. I kind of validate, like 70 to 80% of your problems comes kind of the spiritual realm. What it kind of means, are your spiritual beliefs here? Like, what are your spiritual beliefs? Are they in alignment with actual, like, you know what I mean? Like, do you have a higher cultivation in your life, actually. A practical cultivation instead of this societal machine that is called religion. A religion is for me like, it helps society to function certain ways, how it needs to function, but it doesn't mean necessarily that this is healthy, actually. You know what I mean? Religious programming, this doesn't mean just because it helps to function things, it doesn't mean these things are healthily functioning. Like just observing the Christian religion in of itself, like if this was that successful, if it was that powerful how they self-claim to be, like why are these most today's Christian states falling so heavily down? Because it is a natural process, actually, with every damn religions, every damn eons, every damn societies out there. It's a natural process. Everything goes through this process of having a height and slowly decaying itself. Every damn thing. But I know for sure there is a healthy alternative to that. And this can simply mean having a spiritual cultivation in meditation, for example. Meditation is neutral. Everybody can meditate. Having that is very, very helpful. Like having a high spiritual cultivation in your life. If Christianity helps you, practice it. For real. If these modern religions help you, cultivate these type of energies. But this is like for us witches, actually. If it just happens to be that someone like you is watching me, do your thing. I'm just observing myself, it's just my own opinion. And for me, it doesn't help because it isn't my nature. I'm just saying, like, this 0 8 15 religions it's not in my nature to follow it. It's not helpful for me. It doesn't actually brought me any value into my life. So yeah, and I'm just questioning the people who are in these kind of situations. They are Christian or they are anything like that, and they actually are not growing with it. They are actually, it doesn't actually interest me. It doesn't actually feel authentic to me. It doesn't. And I don't actually resonate with its teachings. I don't resonate with its beliefs. I don't resonate where this is going. It feels like pushed onto me. It feels like programmed onto me. It feels like artificially that it exists artificially within me. If this is the case, you need to do a soul searching. You need really to explore other spiritual avenues for you. I cannot say what is the perfect thing for you. I cannot say this is the thing for you, this is the thing for you. No, I can only recommend things. What I suggest to you, what you should spiritually cultivate. Always helpful meditation, always helpful Qigong, Tai Chi, always helpful Kundalini breathwork, yoga, always helpful yoga, always helpful. What is also always helpful? Like this is really fundamentals: meditation, yoga, breathwork, Tai Chi, Qigong. Cultivating your sexual energies, your life force energies, having control of them is also very essential to this path. But other than that, when it comes to my own somewhat spiritual / religious ritualistic beliefs, is left-hand path, black magic, occultism, rituals, Kabbalah. These are the things that I found myself to be at home, and I recommend these also things to you because I grew through them immensely, and I'm just propagating for them, practicing magic, practicing occultism, practicing Kabbalah or Kabbalistic initiations are heavy cultivating tools for its own spiritual, mental, and physical ascent. Only speak of own experience. You need to make your own experience. I'm just giving you my recommendations. Look into this stuff for sure, and how you can also do it. Me personally, I created a Patreon where I post all of the stuff that what helped me so far. It doesn't cost you much. like 20 or like 80 euros so far. It isn't much. And if you're interested into it, what helped me on the path, look into it, subscribe, like support me, dude, support me, girl. I appreciate it and love it. Yeah, if you really want to see more stuff like this, support me, consider it. I would really like and love to see you there. um and yeah, this is like the last thing, having a spiritual cultivation besides fulfilling your goals, healing yourself, changing the environment, changing people. Have a spiritual cultivation at your side. Follow my recommendations, follow not my recommendations. It's just up to you what you feel most comfortable and lead it towards, you know? And yeah, other than that, Naga bless, and we shall see and hear us surely again.